They're one of the most successful clubs in world football, but the last 5 years have been anything but. The loss of their best ever player and countless financial issues has pushed the Catalan giants to the brink. But with Xavi at the helm, two new generational talents in the squad, and the wait for a league title seemingly coming to an end, things are looking up. Barcelona are back.
Hello there and welcome to Football Now from Doha. Now, it's fair to say that the last few years have been pretty torrid for Barcelona. A trophyless 2019-20 season was followed by a financial meltdown, which in turn led to the departure of the club's greatest ever player, Lionel Messi. Managers such as Quique Setién and Ronald Koeman have tried and failed to steady the ship. And whilst Barca are known for being more than a club, just how close did those fans coming to having no club to support at all?
After winning their last La Liga title in 2019, it's been a pretty turbulent era for Barca on and off the pitch. After a whole season being played without fans present due to COVID-19, the summer of 2021 revealed the scale of their financial problems. There was an outstanding club debt of over €1.35 billion, as well as a wage bill larger than their total income. To save the club, the Spanish giants had to allow for the transfer of their greatest ever player, Lionel Messi, who was snapped up by French giants PSG.
It has felt since the 2015 treble that when decisions were made to keep that group together, that the ripple effects are still being felt to this day, right? And that too much money was put into players who weren't good enough, and there was no gap to be bridged from the stars of Xavi and Iniesta and Messi and, oh yeah, Busquets is still at the club, to today. These are the darkest days that there were because Barcelona is getting knocked out of the Champions League in the group stage, and it was 3 years without a Liga title. And those, when the expectations are so high, feel like the darkest days. And I think winning La Liga, at least, well, hopefully this season, and winning the Spanish Super Cup, that does mean, winning trophies does mean that you are finding your way back.
The loss of Messi was not just felt on the pitch either. The idea of one of the greatest players of all time not seeing his days out at Barcelona was once quite simply unthinkable. The man himself even said that he had decided to stay just before leaving.
Messi's departure was a huge shock at every level for FC Barcelona. First of all, as club, as they were losing the player who led them during their most successful period in their history, a player with whom they dominated European football, world football and domestic football. It was also a huge shock for the fans, not only because of all the previous facts, but also because it's a player who arrived being very young at the club, so he grew up inside the club, so a lot of fans identified with him. And then I think it was a shock for Messi himself. We could see how he cried the day he announced his departure, because I'm sure he did not expect that. He did not expect that at some point in his career he was going to leave what had been at that time his only club.
But as one legend departed, another returned. Xavi Hernandez was a huge part of what would turn out to be the most successful spell in Barcelona's history. And after a short but prosperous period as manager of Al Sadd here in Qatar, he replaced Ronald Koeman. So just how much has the man nicknamed the Puppet Master re-energised the club?
Xavi's arrival at FC Barcelona, I think it was very positive, had a huge impact, especially in terms of hope, because at the time Real Madrid was winning trophies in Europe, Barcelona was struggling, especially financially, so they brought somebody back, somebody who was part of the golden era of the club with Messi, with Iniesta, they won it all, so they brought a lot of hope. Now they're having their first fruits, they're in their way to win La Liga, partially I think because Real Madrid has not been very consistent, but anyway, it's a big title, first big title for Xavi, and the fact that he's got the supporters' trust will mean that he will have time and there will be stability to rebuild the team and try to bring it back to what it was to be when he was a football player.
Now, most good football clubs have good academies, and Barcelona's are no different. La Masia has produced some of the best players in the game. In addition to the aforementioned Xavi and Messi, the likes of Sergio Busquets, Gerard Piqué and Andres Iniesta have all evolved through the system. But over the past decade or so, there had been some concern that the conveyor belt of talent had stopped. But true to form, more good prospects emerged, two of which have become the new faces of Barca.
Midfield duo Pedri and Gavi have got the faithful fan base excited about their youth prospects again. Aged just 20 and 18 respectively, they've already made near to 250 appearances for Barca between them and were included in Spain's 2022 World Cup squad in Qatar. So how important is it to have academy products like these two in Barca's team, and how far could the pair go in their careers?
I think what Pedri and Gavi represent is hope, and that is something that culés in recent seasons are just trying to hold on to. And for Pedri, not to put the weight of the world on his shoulders, but he has the ability to be one of the top midfielders in the world in 2 or 3 seasons. He's still in his early 20s, and the sky is the limit. I think Gavi has quite a ways still left to go, but to tell you that he's already a starting player at FC Barcelona, it means he's already exceeded the expectations for most players' careers. And the idea that Barcelona have the two of them to fit into Xavi's starting 11, or whatever manager comes after Xavi, because I think those two will be here a lot longer than that. So to have those two and just be able to write those names on the team sheets solves a lot of the problems for you. And I think for Barcelona, that's what every team wants. What Pedri and Gavi do is just, again, not only give hope, but it brings stability and calm to midfield, which for Barcelona, you could say forwards and Messi and goals, but the midfield has always been Barcelona's bread and butter, the thing that helps them control matches. And I think the very root of their identity on the field comes from that midfield. And to have Pedri and Gavi is very, very exciting for a Kool-Aid.
Yeah, exciting times for the Catalan club. That brings us to the end of this week's show. Do let us know your thoughts at home using the hashtag FootballNowBarcelona, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.